Hello there, once again it's Chris Reardon with you, United Kingdom Talk, an hour of chit-chat about nothing important, as always, gang. And I'm pleased to say the garden is starting to become into... Oh, here comes the cat as well. Morning, Tiny. Oh, it's the old one. Hang on a minute. I'll give her a little stroke. This is the one that her fur keeps matting up, unfortunately. She just walked over here. She wanted a bit of a cuddle, didn't you? Oh, she's very old, over 20, and her fur keeps matting up. I know I've mentioned this a few times. What I usually do is cut. See, there's a bit here. Can you? I don't know if you can see that or not. There's like a little bit of matted fur there. If I pull that, that'll hurt her. So what I do usually is get a pair of scissors and cut it out. But it's more and more. Now I've got one of those. I don't know what you call it. It's like it's an electric shaver. And it's kind of got an attachment to remove hairs like sideboards and whatever else I suppose you could do with your legs with it if you've got hairy legs, which I don't have. No hairs on those legs. They never grew, Mum. Mummy, they never... the hairs... Obviously, I didn't eat enough greens. Are you off, darling? There you are. She's off now. There you are. And I wondered how she'd react to that buzzing thing, because it'd be a lot easier. There are sort of areas of matted up fur that I can't actually get at. Anyway, good morning, Tiny. She's going to sit there for the whole show. How lovely. As I was saying, the garden's in bloom now. And you remember the blue geraniums that I told you the lady gave me, that I went to have dinner with, was it a couple of weeks ago now, wasn't it? When I had dinner, within 10 minutes of having breakfast, do you remember that? Well, her blue geraniums have come up as well. In fact... And do you remember also I told you a couple of weeks ago that it wouldn't be long before all the pink flowers at the front will all be out? Well, guess what? They're all out now. Let's go and have a little look, all right? I'm going to take you outside. First of all, it's all very clever, really. It's all very clever, this, because I know you want to see these beautiful plants. Here is the blue geranium. Now, this is situated... Close your eyes and imagine if you're not watching, OK? This is situated right in the middle of the back of my garden. Lovely little plant. And it's only a small plant, I suppose about 6 inches tall and about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches wide. But that will multiply. And I'll tell you why I know that. These here, just on the left-hand side, these are the pink geraniums. Now, I started off with 6 pink geraniums. Now, you'll also see them, of course, behind me on the chair there where I was sitting a moment ago, okay? Loads of pink geraniums. Now, remember, all I started with 6 of these plants around about 12 years ago. Also, the lady, Grace, her name is, she gave me some of these yellow things. Now, I'm not quite sure what they are, but again, they have been planted, and within 10 days, they've come into flower, which is beautiful. Beautiful. I've got a great big holly bush behind me, which you've seen possibly in a couple of the YouTube videos. Yes, the washing's hanging out once again. There we are, washing. Little plant here with blue again in the back garden. I'm in the back garden at the moment, and some more of those pink geraniums. Now I'm going to take you into the house, okay, and out the front. Now, if you were watching a couple of weeks ago, you may remember that I said to you that it would only be... let me just see if there's any neighbours out here, because I feel a bit of an idiot sometimes. Probably they think that. You may remember that I told you it wouldn't be long before they all burst into flower. Right, we're at the front of my house now. You ready for this? Look at this lot. Look at this. Absolutely stunning. All around me, all I can see is these little pink geraniums. Now, these are as a result of me splitting up the original 6 plants and putting them out here in the front, and it's just so beautiful. All around me, among the trees and the ferns, are the little pink flowers. Now, that there, I've also got a blackberry bush right next to the house, okay? Some more pink flowers. Look at them, look at them. Beautiful little things, beautiful little things. Not only that, but I've also planted for a while ago. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. I think I've got a zoom thing here. But there is, let's try if I can. That's a plant I put in there again, right in front of the house, or about 4 years ago. Interesting little white and brown and yellow petals on that one. Okay, and what else? And there was something else I located out here the other day, which I'll show you in a second. A foxglove, all on its own. There it is. I think it's a foxglove anyway. Look at this. Foxglove, all on its own. Now, if I remember rightly, the lady that I go to see, round about last year, gave me a load of seeds. And the foxgloves were one of those seeds. Now, I'm not very good at planting seeds, and I just tend to chuck them in, you know what I mean? So I just chucked them over there, and now we've got the lovely foxglove. How marvellous is that, eh? That noise is the washing machine, yeah. Oh, it's always on, dear. Now, what it is, if we've had some cloudy weather, which we have had, a bit of cloud and a bit of rain over the last few weeks, or over the last, not the last few weeks. Let me just sit down again, darlings. All right, 1 second. There's the cat still there. You right, Tiny? She's there. Ain't you, my precious, waiting? I reckon she could be a bit of a celebrity, my cat, don't you? Now, where was I? Forgot what I was talking about now. Oh yes, the washing. We've had a few cloudy, wet days, and what I tend to do is save up all the washing. Now the sun's come out and I want to get my sunglasses. Oh dear. Oh, by the way, I found another 3 pairs of sunglasses. It's all a bit mad, isn't it? I just find these things everywhere. Now, where was I? That's it. So I saved the washing up for when the sun's all right, so that I don't have to turn the tumble dryer on. Oh, yes, it costs an arm and a leg to run a tumble dryer. You know that, don't you? I told you that before. You don't listen to me, dear. Oh, no, I can save you money, believe me. I bet I could come round to... The amount of houses I've been round... You know, I'm not saying... no, you got that wrong there. No. Oh, hang on, my papers are blown everywhere now. Oh... That's it. The amount of houses I've been round, I don't want you to take that in the wrong way, okay? Some of the visits are in the daytime, some at night, but and you go round there, and all the lights are on. The light's on, the heating's on full blast, the telly's left on. Oh, why are our electric bills so high? Turn it off, dear. You've got to turn it off, and that's why. Was there anything else I was going to show you today? I've shown you the plants, and oh, yes! I told you that I'd asked Justin to get me one of those umbrellas. He's... Oh, the wind. 1 minute. Oh, let me get... Where's that umbrella? 1 minute. There's an umbrella. Got a new umbrella. Look. Look, you'll love this. There it is. My new garden umbrella. Yes. Which is... It's actually quite a nice colour. It's a green thing. And it is really... Let me just turn something down a bit. That's better. Now, that umbrella, got to be honest with you, it is really a pub umbrella. Okay? It's a pub umbrella, yeah. It's the sort of thing you'd find in a pub, but it doesn't bother me. As long as it keeps me in the shade, then we're not worried, are we? All right, so that's that. Now, what we're going to talk about today. Oh, yes, I wondered if any technical people will know this. Why do computers jump? Now, obviously, I don't mean why does a computer jump off the table, because it doesn't. Sometimes you've got the screen on, right, and you're on the desktop. Now, Joy, I have to tell Joy what this is. The desktop is like the picture that's always on the computer. It's like in the background, okay? That's the desktop. And it's got little icons on it. Now, Joy, the icons are little small pictures which... are to do with what you're doing on the computer, like a program or perhaps a document like a letter or a picture or something like that. So they're like on top of the desktop. Now and again, you can do something and suddenly all the icons will kind of flash just once, and then their little individual pictures will disappear and then come back one by one. Now, I've always had this with virtually all of my home computers, not the laptops. Never happened on a laptop as far as I can remember, but only on the home computers. And I was wondering any technical experts, and I know there's one or two of you out there, including a brand new viewer who I shall come to in a minute. Where's his name now? No, I know his name. I've got his email here. I've got to read the whole family out. He wants me to read out the family. And he's in South London. Hang on a minute. Where is it? It's here. It's here. Stop panicking. So, any technical people, please tell me, why does that happen? Why do all the icons kind of suddenly... I mean, how can I explain this? The actual picture of the particular icon disappears, and then they all come back on one by one, and everything seems to be fine. What's the cause of that, and how can I stop it happening? Please let me know by email. There is an email address to the programme. It's chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, right? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, shall I get my super cool duper sunglasses? I will. Can you wait a minute? Hang on, I'll take you inside. Take the sound inside. Right, 1 minute. Go and get these sunglasses. I've also got another pair of glasses that our main man, super dude, new viewer and listener to the programme, has told me where they came from. Trouble is, I can't remember now. Right, here we go. That's it. Back, thank you, back. I think I've put a bit more weight on it. this T-shirt's really tight today. Right, super duper cool sunglasses. But first, a new viewer to YouTube. 18-year-old lad in South London who made the point that by telling me, I think one of his opening lines was the fact that he told me he does actually fancy girls. Well, that's fine. That's fine, mate. God, that's fine. We can be friends. Doesn't have to be any more. Besides, you're a little bit young. 18-year-old, this lad. Daz of London. He's a bit of a fan of hip-hop and R&B. And his opening comment was, I got that top sick. Now, unfortunately, Daz, you are writing in that language that young people seem to write in these days. And I can't work out, Edda Taylor, what you're saying half the time. But I do try. As you know, and I do try and reply in, in the same language as what you write to me. And we've been having a little bit of a chat on the MSN and everything. It's great to have new friends. He's in Mitcham, which is actually quite near to... Oh, it's great big blue bottles. Where are they coming from then? Go away. Oh, I hate flies, don't you? Oh, it's still there. Are you waiting for me to die or something? So you can have a meal? You're not having me yet. Oh, it's back. It's back. Go. Oi! It keeps landing back in the same... It's closer now. Go away. Oh, it's a horrible thing, that is. Why won't it go away? It must want to die. That's all I can assume. Oh, it's a horrible, great big blue bottle. Almost as bad as a wasp. Not keen on wasps either. I don't know whether I've got a death wish or something at the moment. But I've got a new thing I do with wasps. Now, I don't like to kill anything, to be honest. Well, maybe there's a couple of X's that... No, sorry. I don't like to kill anything. But wasps, I kind of give them a chance, right? I try and shoo them out of a window. But if they're really that far away from a window and they're great big fat ones, then I'm sorry, I have to go for it. Now, how do you think I kill a wasp? Right? It's almost become a bit of a challenge. And what... I'm looking around for that vile fly. Where's it gone now? Oh, horrible things. I'm sure it's going to land on me in a minute. Oh, it gives me the creeps right up my back, that does. With the wasps, what I now like to do, and you're going to say I'm stupid, I'm going to get stung one day, I get a bit of toilet paper and I literally try and catch it. So far, I have succeeded most of the time. Sometimes it manages to fly out the window, which is fine. But I wait till it's, you know when they go to the inside, somehow they get in the house and they start buzzing against the window, bzz, 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 like that when they're trying to get out. That's when I go for it. I watch them going out, and quickly, with a piece of tissue paper, I grab, straight in the toilet and flush the chain. Yes. Usually you have to flush the chain once or twice. I do feel a bit guilty sometimes when you do see the wasp in the toilet swimming around trying to get out. And once I see that, I flush that chain again. Sometimes I flush it 3 or 4 times. Do you? Oh, have we got on the subject of toilets again? I don't mean to do it. I don't mean to do it. I've got to think about toilets, haven't I? You know, I'm certainly after using one, then depending on what I've done, how can I put this gently? If I stand up, I just flush it the once. If I sit down, I flush it 3 or 4 times. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that. I've just got this fear in my mind that if it's not flush enough, everything's kind of come back the other way. Oh. Oh, it must be awful to be in a flood, mustn't it? Eh? Can you imagine? Can you imagine being in a flood? Oh my! Talking of such things as well, I was listening to one of my favourite people on the radio, Dr. Carl. Now, I've mentioned him a couple of times. He's a scientist in Australia, and he does a couple of radio shows that I listen to by podcast. One on Dr. Carl, I think it's called Dr. Carl's... Dr. Carl, I think it's K-A-R-L or C-A-R-L. Dr. Carl's Science Phone-In is a BBC Radio 5 podcast, okay, which you can download from the BBC site. And he also does a show on a national youth station in Australia called Triple J. Dr. Carl on Triple J. And there's some girl hosting on there. And he's just fantastic. And I listen to him stuff all the time. Another science thing to listen to is The Naked Scientist. Actually, come to think of it, I think it was The Naked Scientist that I heard this on. And some vile person... has done this experiment where I don't like to use the word beginning with F. No, it's not that word, it's another word. You'll know what it is. I hate this word. It seems to be used easily in Australia. You don't hear it so much here, and certainly not on the radio. It begins with F and it means passing wind. You know the word I mean. I hate that word. I absolutely hate that word. And some vile person's done an experiment where they passed wind into a culture dish, right? Once with no pants or trousers on, and the other time with pants and trousers on, to see if indeed bacteria can be spread by passing wind. This is true. While having pants and trousers on. And it can. Pants and trousers mean nothing at all, apparently. And it must stop some of the bacteria coming out, surely, but not all of it. So I think what I'm going to have to do is ask you, friends and listeners to United Kingdom Talk, to design a filter that we can all go around wearing happily, and then we can pass wind to our heart's content and not worry about giving anyone any infections. What do you think of that idea? Can you come out with something like that? I know we've got a lot of clever people watching and listening to this programme, scientists from all over the world. The best American, Chinese, English, French, German, whatever you're from. Can you please design me a filter that can be placed inside someone's underpants to stop all these vile bacteria going into the air, and possibly making the ozone hole even bigger than it is now? Depending on, of course, the problem that you've got, whether it's a small problem or a large problem. Do let me know if you can do that. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Okay, back to Daz of London, Who? He's got the, you know that white top I had on the other week. He's got one of those. He's got the one with the gold lettering, the Lonsdale one. He's got one of those, and it also informs me where these glasses came from. Do you like these? And they were worn in a. He actually sent me the music video to the Kanye West. One of the videos from Kanye West, who's an American, highly popular R&B hip hop. Is it R&B and hip hop he does? I don't know, Daz. And I saw the video, and he actually had. I don't know if they were actually these particular ones, but he had the same glasses. So I think. Do I look cool in these? What do you think? Would I be better off doing the show in the Kanye West super cool, like glasses, or my regular sunglasses? I am going with the regular sunglasses, I think, okay? I don't think, Daz, that I'm hip enough to wear those other ones. Maybe a couple of years ago, I don't know. What do you reckon? And Daz say... he also sent in a couple of emails and says, "Hi, Al, it is PKPuree. Is it Puree?" He said, "You should get a Mackenzie jacket. They're slick. Sick. S-I-K. Now, I think that means they're good. Am I guessing right here? Eh? Do me a favour, sort out Mitcham, please, and say hello to the Wandle boys. The Wandle boys are watching this programme. I know Mitcham, used to work in Wimbledon. And I used to live in Wandsworth, which is all, and Peckham, and Roehampton as well. So I suppose, I'm just trying to work out what I would be then. Would I be one of the Roehampton posse? Is that still a hip word, posse? I don't think it is, because not once have you used that word here. So am I a Roehampton boy? I'm one of the Roehampton boys, which Roehampton, incidentally, is a very large council estate in southwest London, where I was brought up. One of the cats is now rolling around. Katie, why are you running around in the dirt? She's sitting there cleaning herself, bless her heart. What are you doing? Do you want to see? Hang on a minute. Look. What is she doing down there? Katie! Katie! Not in front of the people. I don't know what she's up to over there. It's all happening today, isn't it, eh? It's all happening. Right, hang on, let me sit down. She's my baby love. Tiny's in danger of being stepped on in a minute if she doesn't move out of the way, ain't you, darling? She's happy sitting there. Okay, and want to say hello to Daz's family as well. He says, "Just me, bruv baker boy, ND." What's and? Oh, and is ND, is it? Yeah, that's got to be. And Rhines, and Wyatt Rhines, and Harsey, and Tubun. Yes. Thanks, mate. Hope that ain't too long for you. No problem at all. If there's anyone who wants anyone to say hello to anyone else, it's always a pleasure to do that for anyone, okay? You can say my real name. Well, his real name is Michael. But I don't know, Michael, if you want a hip name, I think Daz is the better one, eh? My middle name's Michael, Chris Michael. It is. It's Michael, but still say PKPuree, please. PKPuree. What is that, PKPuree? Does that mean something? Puree. You weren't once an orange juice, were you? Oh, my God. And you were being reincarnated as a young man. That's what's gone on there. He says, thanks, safe laces. So thanks for that, Michael. PKPuree. And on his YouTube thing, he's called Daz of London. How great that is. Young lad, 18, thinks I'm very funny. I wish I did. We're only here to create fun and try and make people smile. That's what it is, PKPuree. Thanks a lot for that, sir. Glad to be of assistance. Beautiful day out here today, actually. I've got to hang some more washing up in a minute. I've got one load out there. Oh, let me tell you this, right? that lot of washing that's hanging over there that you saw earlier, that has actually been hanging out there since Thursday. Now, the reason, the date is, of course, Saturday. The reason it's still hanging out there, Thursday, I walked all the way into town and back, which is about an hour and 20 minutes. Before I went to town, I hung all the washing out. So all the washing was hanging out on the line by about 11:30, all right? It wasn't a particular hot day, but the sun was in and out. But it was certainly warm enough to dry the washing. So, done that, had some lunch, looked outside, felt the washing. I thought, no, it is dry. I'll leave it a little bit. Oh, excuse me, a little bit longer. Because often you find with washing, it's all dry at the bottom, but the bit at the top where the pegs are, sometimes are still they take a little bit longer, don't they? So, I had my lunch, some vegetable soup, which I sprinkled cheese on the top, which actually was a mistake. I wish I hadn't done that, to be honest. You right, Tiny? She's fast asleep down here, isn't you? Eh? Poor old soul. So I had that, and I had also a piece of apple pie, because Sainsbury's up the road. Their apple pies are a bit different to what they used to be now. They seem to be putting, at last, more apple in them. Now, I do get fed up with shops that sell apple pies and it's all pastry. What is the point? I mean, how much does a blooming apple cost, for Lord's sake? Huh? Oh, can you hear that? Motorbike. That is an illegal motorbike going past the back fence. It's a liberty that I should pick up my phone and make an anonymous phone call. Oh, what's your name and address, sir? Oh, I wouldn't like to leave that. Oh, okay, sir, thanks for the information. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm always ringing up the council about something or someone. Don't you worry about that. Anonymous phone calls, we love them. Eh? I'm being naughty again. What was I just talking about? Oh, yes, Thursday. So I then went to the swimming pool to do my afternoon swim. Okay, came back here, sun's still out. I thought, I'll bring that stuff in when I've gone out. Now, I looked up in the sky, no clouds, not a single cloud in sight. I went up to the supermarket, Sainsbury's, to get another apple pie, because I'd finished the last one. And I walked in there. I can only have been in there for 10 minutes, if that. Oh, I also went to buy some wine, because one of the prizes we give away at Bingay is, well, you can choose from a very large... Do you know I've got 150 prizes now? I couldn't believe it. The guy I work for on Tuesdays, a good friend of mine, John, at West 5 in Ealing, that's Bingay there. Bingay is on Monday night in the Golden Lion, Britannia Street, King's Cross. That's 8 till 12 on Monday nights in London. And on Tuesday nights, it's at West 5 in Pope's Lane in Ealing, West 5, London again. Okay, that's again 8 to 12. Do you know, I've got over 150 prizes now. It was John that told me that. I couldn't believe it. I says, you're joking, didn't you? And I counted them. Yeah, it was 150 prizes. Oh, did you hear that? That was a cone that narrowly avoided my head. Last week it was bird poo. Today it's cones. It's all collapsing around me. So, nice lot of fun. And I'd also gone up to Sainsbury's to get some wine, you see, as part of the prizes. Now, unfortunately, I know absolutely nothing about wine at all. I've mentioned before, oh, here comes that motorbike again. Do you think they wait for me to do the show? Huh? Wait for it to go past, dear me. I know nothing about wine at all. I've said before, all wine I've ever tasted, to me, tastes like vinegar. I think it's vile. Absolutely vile. White, red, don't like wine at all. I don't know about you. You might like a bottle of wine or two with your dinner. Or in my sister's case, 10 or 15 bottles per day. Oh, it's dreadful. She sits there knocking them back morning, noon and night. And if she goes to bed, she has a bottle of wine but on top of the bed cabinet, in case she wakes up in the morning. Of course, most people, would go to the kitchen and get a glass of water. Or, and I'm not recommending you do this because you never know, sometimes I do take water out of the bathroom tap. which is a bit naughty, really, because it's come out of the tank rather than directly off the mains, but I do it. Not my sister. Oh, no. No, she's got a bottle of wine on her bedside cabinet. She wakes up. Has another swig and goes back to sleep again. Oh, it's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Anyway, with wine, I haven't got a clue what I'm buying. Not a clue. So I kind of rely in the Sainsbury's up the road, which is where I'm now having to get my alcohol, because the Asda, remember Asda in Clapham? I told you that's where I get a lot of my prizes from, Asda in Clapham, right? But unfortunately, they're no longer selling alcohol after midnight, which has done me in a bit, really, because, as you know, I do most of my shopping 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I love going home, popping in there, there's no one around, the staff have always got time to talk for you, there's no rush or anything like that, and that's where I used to get the alcohol from. But, of course, now I can't do it from that particular Asda in Clapham, although the Asda in Roehampton are still selling it. So I don't know what's going on there after midnight. So I went up to Sainsbury's, and they have this cabinet, and it says on there, 10 most popular wines. So really, that's where I get the wines from. I haven't got a clue what I'm buying. Haven't got a clue. But I choose maybe a couple of red ones and a couple of white ones, and they seem to go. So presumably people are happy with those. Right. So I went up to Sainsbury's. I came back here. No, sorry, I've jumped, right? So got the wine, I'm at the checkout, she's tapping all the buttons, and there were queues. Oh, I can't stand it. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there were queues in Sainsbury's. Now, recently, they've redone part of the store, and it's like the home and wear section. But I've got to be, and they spent weeks doing this, possibly a couple of months. And I've got to say, not impressed. Absolutely not impressed at all. When you compare what they've done, this is Sainsbury's in Bracknell, okay? When you compare what they've done there to Asda and the Tesco's and there's another one, wasn't there? I can't think of the other one. Certainly Asda and Tesco's, I mean, it's pants. Really is. Not impressed at all. Not only that, they've also, right, for weeks, the Sainsbury's petrol station was closed as well, up the road. And, you know, the big sign up there, this store is closed temporarily for improvements. We hope you're going to... And all this business, right? Well, it reopened last week. I went in there. This is the petrol... It's kind of a mini shop as well. So you buy your petrol there, and you go in to pay for it, and... there's like a little shop thing there. I've got to say, the people who work in the Sainsbury's petrol station in Bracknell got to be the slowest place for paying. It really is. It's awful. The times I've gone up there and there's a queue a mile long, I don't know why it is, and there'd be one person on the checkout and 3 people stacking shit. Well, okay, perhaps I'm overdoing it there, but to me, if you're running a shop and there's one person sitting on the till, and there's 2 people stacking, and a queue develops, wouldn't you immediately drop that stuff and start doing the till? But they don't seem to do that. They don't seem to be. They're like morons. It's walking around like robots. Or haven't been programmed to do that. You know. So, I mean, but I do go up there because it's the cheapest fuel everywhere. You know. Do I keep saying, you know? I don't mean to do that. Sorry. Stop that immediately. I went into the shop, the new Sainsbury's one, and there's a lot less. It seems to me, they've rearranged this place. There now seems to be a lot less in there than there was before they done it up. Not only that, but they've put those horrible glass things up between the till operator and the customer, and I just hate that. I know we live in a day and age where people are attacked or shot or spat at, but it's horrible from a customer who doesn't do any of those things. I'm afraid. Perhaps I'm boring. Perhaps I'm in the minority now. Am I? All I want to do is go in, have a little chat to the people behind the till, and pay my money. That's all I want to do. But they've got these glass screens up now, and I do hate those. But they are so slow in there. It's unbelievable. So slow. Anyway, so that's the new little Sainsbury's petrol station. Not impressed. All those weeks closed, and they've reopened it, and it's not as good as it was in the first place. How stupid is that? What bonzo decided to spend thousands of pounds doing that? That's what I want to know. What a waste of time and money. Ridiculous. There's hardly anything in there now, other than the rows of sweets and crisps, as always. Anyway, back to the main supermarket. So I'm at the till, paid for all my goods in the bags, and out I went to the car. Well, I come out the door. Honestly, I don't know where that rain came from. It was pouring down. It was so heavy, there were puddles immediately gathering in the road. Don't know where the rain came from. Of course, the first thing that went through my head, oh my God, the washing's outside. And of course, I came back here, everything's soaking. And that's why that is the same washing hanging up there now. It is just about dry now, so when I finish the show, I shall take the washing in and hang the rest of the washing out, because I've got some sheets and that to hang out. I also I bought a new duvet, a 4.5 tog duvet from Asda last week. My summer duvet, which I bought. Isn't it lovely when you get new sheets or new duvets or something like that, and you put it on the bed and you sleep under it for the first time? Eh? You like that, don't you? Do you do that as well? Oh, it's lovely. So I'm going to take my old duvet into the laundrette. Oh, no, I'm not putting it into the dry cleaners, dear. They want about 15 quid to wash a duvet. Not paying that. If you take it down the laundrette yourself, it costs you no more than £4 or £5. You put it in the machine. Actually, I'm very lucky because the laundrette I go to is right next to the place that cuts my hair. You know Tracy, who cuts my hair? Well, they sometimes play my talk shows, don't they? On the TV screens and the hairdressers. It's all very sad, really. So that's what I'll do. I'll take my old one up there, give it its annual wash. I hope you're not thinking I'm dirty. Eh? Once a year is enough to wash a duvet. Come on, don't be silly now. Now, where's my other bit of paper that tells me things? There it is. Oh, by the way, I've also got at the moment a car mat hanging up there on the line as well, because on the way home from Bingate a couple of Mondays ago, I give people a lift home back to Clapham because I can go home that way. And I kind of appreciate anyone that comes down. Obviously, I can only take 2 or 3 people in that little car. But always happy to give people a lift back if I'm going that way or slightly off route. I don't mind. Well, it was raining, pouring down with rain a couple of Monday nights ago, and some bonzo left the back window open, didn't I? Which I didn't notice for 2 days. A couple of days after that, of course, I'm in the car. I can smell mould in here. And on closer inspection, I'd also left a box of Magna's cider in the back of the boot, which again was one of the Bingay prizes. And of course I lifted that thing and the whole box just collapsed because it had got wet, and the back of the car was all wet, and it was the mat that was making the mould smell. So I took that out of the car last week, and that was hanging up there Thursday. Again, it was dry when I left the house. I come back, of course it's soaking wet again after the rain, but I think it's dry again now, so as soon as I finish the show I shall bring all that in. Right, so awful day on Thursday, really. Everything got rather wet, except me. Well, maybe my personality's wet, but I hope I'm not too wet for you, OK? Now, some more emails. Hello to Tim. Now, Tim sent this in a few weeks ago, and we've just not got round to it. Indeed, there's a few emails here that it's taken a while to get round to, so as always, apologies for that. I think I mentioned on the last show, I'm considering, because as you know, the show is created a week in advance, okay? So the show you're watching today was made a week ago. If you're listening, you actually hear it a lot quicker. Some people hear it live. Some people hear it after a couple of days. Some people hear it the next day. But the video side of it is always exactly 1 week behind. So today, if you're watching this video today, it's Saturday. This video was quoted last Saturday. Now, that, of course, means that sometimes the emails wait a little while. And if I fall behind on the emails, they wait even longer. I said in the last show, the reason for this is that if anything goes wrong, I've got a week to catch up. But I'm not convinced it's the right thing. Perhaps people would actually understand if something went wrong and there was no show, you would understand that. And I think next time I go up to my sister's house, which is only about 6 or 7 weeks away, I think I will allow it to catch up, and then from then I will record only one day ahead, so that things come through more quicker. If you've got any views on that, I'd be interested in them. Chris at UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk, right? Chris at UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. Now, Tim, as I say, he wrote this about a month ago. He said, just listening to your show the 8th of May, and I have to agree with your decision, re late entries into karaoke finals. Now, you remember, we were running a karaoke competition again at the Golden Lion. The competition has finished now, but we're still doing karaoke there on Wednesday nights between 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. Once again, that's the Golden Lion, King's Cross, Britannia Street, King's Cross in London. Now, I do that every Wednesday, 9 till 1 a.m. And we had a competition a while ago, and I mentioned then that we had a load of people. It was about 3 or 4 of the entrants walked in at 10:15 at night. Now, the actual competition started at 8 o'clock. And the way it was run, everyone was to sing one song, then there would be a break, then everyone would sing another song, and then everyone in the room, every single person in the pub, would be asked to vote on their favourite singer. All right? That's how it worked. We got to about 9:45, and everyone had sung once. So I waited for a while, and it got to 10 o'clock, and you see, there's only so much time in the night, and these other 3 people had not yet turned up. So we then started the second round. And around about 10:15, the other 3 people, who it's a shame really, because they're all so talented. They really are. They're from a school which is quite close, a theatrical school in King's Cross, which is actually rather famous, the Poor School. And they walked in about 10:15, and unfortunately I had to say to them, look, I'm sorry, it's too late. I can't put you through. I can't go back. We've done one lot of singing. We're halfway through the second lot now, and I'm afraid you're too late now. And they'd all got through. These 3 people had got through to the competition. Now, they were fine about it. There wasn't a problem or anything like that. But I just felt ever so guilty. But what else are you supposed to do? That's the thing. Because it has to be fair to everyone else who had been able to get there on time. Now, the reason that they weren't there on time was because they were at school doing the acting stuff and everything that they do. And I felt ever so guilty, but it's difficult, very, very difficult. I felt so bad. I really felt bad, but they were really nice about it. Really nice. I was going to say some names. It's not fair to say names, because it wasn't their fault that they were late. But we'd got over halfway through it, and I couldn't have people sort of coming in late. Tim actually says, I agree with your decision. He says, I was involved in several karaoke contests between 1995 and 1998. And the rig I was with clearly stated that if you weren't at the venue by a certain time, you wouldn't be entered into the final or, in fact, automatically disqualified. Well, yeah, I mean, Tim, I see exactly what you're saying there. And yeah, I agree, 8 o'clock's 8 o'clock, isn't it? I mean, okay, 8:30, 8:45 even maybe, but 10:15, it's just too late. It's too late. If we do another competition, this time I will know, of course, that these people can't get there till about 10:15. And I would change it so that we didn't start till then. But you see, the thing is with that, the whole idea of having a competition from the pub's point of view is to bring people in earlier. So 10:15 is a bit late to start a competition. So it's very difficult. I still feel guilty now about that, but what else can you do? Timbo says, I love the eventual winner's voice. His name was Derek. You probably saw him on one of the shows, did you? Or listened to one of the podcasts. He is actually on. If you go back to the show... Is it the 8th of May one? I think it might be the 8th of May show. If you ever want to go back to any of the old shows, just go to United Kingdom Talk.co.uk. Okay, United Kingdom Talk.co.uk. And you will see all the shows there going way back to October 2005. I think the one you want is the one of 8th of May. Just have a look around those, and it says there somewhere, winning singer Derek from the karaoke competition. He is on there, and he's in the last 15 minutes of the show. If you want to go past all the rest of it, he's in the last 15 minutes of the show. Okay. Timbo says, may well come back to King's Cross if I have the energy soon. From Timbo in Putney. Thanks very much for that, Tim. And Tim and I, we often have a bit of a chat in the car on the way home because Tim lives in Putney, and I kind of can go back that way home. So there's another little person I give a lift to. Hello again to Connor. Connor! I love that name, mate. Connor! And Connor says... Did we read out... I think we read an email up from you on the last show, didn't we? You're a brand new listener who's in Australia. And he says, I've just finished working on a contract surveying Crown land for unexplored ordnance. Is that the Ordnance Survey maps, I would guess? Yeah. I will be looking... Connor's another young lad. I think he's 16. Are you 16 or 18, aren't you? I'll be looking for work at the local supermarket as night fill. That's excellent. Excellent. You see, you may not want to have a career in supermarkets. I speak now for any young people that are listening that are looking for a job. Take whatever comes along and then look for what you want to do. All right? Get some money. There's nothing better than having money in your pocket, what you have earned. It's all very well here in the UK. Lots of people on the dole sign a bit of paper, you get your, I don't know, what is it, 40 quid? It's nothing. Even the worst paid jobs will be paying you 3 times the amount of that. What would you rather have in your pocket? 40 quid or 120, 150? My advice to anyone who's young, and I did exactly the same, go out and take any job that you can do. Supermarket. There's nothing wrong with working in the supermarket. Some people have careers there. You have to decide, do you want a career in a supermarket? Do you want to reach management level, run your own store? Great. But other people, you know, supermarket jobs are also good, what I would say, fill-in jobs. Jobs that you could take while you're looking for what you want to do. All right, so you've done well there. Yeah. Connor says, Connor. Do you like the accent? Connor. That's trying to do an Irish accent there. We'll be looking for work at the local supermarket as Nightfield. Excellent. He's got family up in Cairns. Oh, I love it there. You know I love it there. But I live in Perth, Western Australia. Now, I haven't been to Perth. I completely agree with I think Susan makes it sound real when she says different things are on different frequencies. Yeah, we were talking a couple of shows ago about people being able to see things and hear things that possibly other people can't. Call it a supernatural experience if you want. But Susan and I, and indeed Connor, agree that we can, some people can see things that others can't because they were on different frequencies. A little bit like tuning a radio dial. Although we won't have to do that much longer with all this digital stuff, will we? No, you tune stuff and you tune into what you can hear. Well, maybe we all have the ability to actually tune in our vision to different things. Maybe you could try it. Try it maybe at night time when you're in a living room. Turn all the lights out. Just sit there and kind of let your eyes go and see if you can see anything else. I wonder if you can. Might try that myself, that one. Connor says, usually this sort of thing is taboo because people say it's crazy talk. People don't want to deal with the unknown or something they are powerless over. I'm not fortunate to be born in British Isles. I was born in Australia but moved to Ireland. Unsure if you mean I moved to Australia or Ireland with my family. That's from Connor. So, but you are in Australia now, aren't you? It's all very confusing, Connor. So thanks for that. Keep in touch, Connor. I want to know how you get on with your job and that. And will you get the supermarket job? What's the... Just trying to think of the supermarket that was in... There was one big supermarket in Cairns. I can't remember what it was now. Not Cairns, it was in Port Douglas. What's the name of the supermarket there? There's a chain of supermarkets in Australia, Con. I can't remember what they were called. Thanks for that, sir. And talking of Susan, Susan has sent me a lovely letter with some lion's mane in it and whiskers from her big cats. Now, I will be reading out that email in the next show, OK? Not this one, in the next show. It is sitting upstairs in the office. The reason it's in the next show is because I forgot to bring it down here. And we're running out. We've only got about 7 or 8 minutes left now. I haven't got time to rush upstairs, so thank you very much for that, Susan. I have received my lion mane, my lion and tiger fur. It's in an envelope with a lovely letter as well. Now, there is a postal address. If you ever want to put pen to paper instead of sending an email, then you can do so. I'll give you the postal address in a moment, all right? Hello, Suko, who says, thanks, my dear friend, for sharing in my pain. Remember Suko? She's recently had a kidney stone, which we did make light of. One of the most, according to other people, I'm very fortunate enough not to have had one of those, although I did have a burst appendix, which was bad enough. But I've often heard stories of people who have kidney stones. One of the most excruciating pains there can be, apparently, having a kidney stone. Suko says, I have decided to make a pendant out of the kidney stone for you to wear. Oh, dear. Since you made such light of my 13 hours of excruciating pain. And go ahead, profit from it if you wish. You sell it on eBay since you are always crying poverty. Think of it as my contribution to your travels. Suko. Thank you, Suko. She's going to make me a little pendant out of her kidney stone. How lovely. Is it hard? Is it a hard thing? Is it, you know, like a stone that you would find in the ground? Is it quite a hard thing, a kidney stone? Well, I hope I don't have those. What's the cause? Is it not drinking enough water? I don't know what it is. And Suko also says, P.S. Of course Jade won the school talent show. What did you think? Yeah, well done, Jade. Jade is Suko's daughter. She's recently won the school talent show. Very talented. I came third in a talent show once for playing the piano. Yeah. But there were only 5 of us in it. But nevertheless, I think third is a good position anyway, don't you? And Carl in Yorkshire writes in about some of the points Suko was making in one of her emails about her kidney. She was talking about a scan that she was having. And Carl writes, just watching you read out Suko's email about her kidney stone problem, a couple of points. ER means emergency room. Thank you for that, Carl. We call them here in the UK emergency departments or casualty. Incidentally, we have a very good show on here on the BBC One every Saturday night called Casualty, which I quite like, although I haven't watched it for a while. A CAT scan, and he sent a link there, which I had a quick look at there. A CAT scan is a non-invasive, painless medical test. You see? And he also says, and the drug you pronounced wrongly is Vicodin. Vicodin. And how did I say it? V-sodin. V-icodin. See, he wrote it phonetically, Suko. What you have to do with these hard words, because, you know, I mean, I could never read the news. I wouldn't be able to get all the foreign names right. I'd never be able to read the news. What you have to do is write it down in brackets how it should sound. And the correct spelling for that drug is V-I-C-O-D-I-N. And in brackets, it's V, this is how it sounds, V-E-Y-E-C-O-D-I-N, V-Icodin. Thank you for that, Carl. And he also says more about the birdsong file, which I still haven't got onto yet. It's a bit of a long job. There's a couple of noisy bits in there that I want to take out. I don't know what the noise is, to be honest. It's like a crash and a wallop. I've got no idea what the noise was. Absolutely no idea. He says, more about the birdsong 4, because we were worried about the amount of space that was going to take up and all the bandwidth problems, because it's a huge file. He says, how about you upload it somewhere like mediafile.com? And he says, if you want to use sendit.com and let me have it, I can host it for you on my Mediafire account. Or make a self-extracting zip archive. Oh, don't... Now, you see, you've lost me now, Carl. You've got to speak in non-geek language, dear. There's not only people watching this show on YouTube and downloading the podcast. There are people who don't use computers, who listen on the radio. You need to write it so people can understand. Including myself. He said, which won't be a problem for the non-techies to handle. Well, it's a problem for me. I don't know what you're talking... A self-extracting zip archive. What's that? I know what a zip file is. What is a zip archive? You see, I don't know. Carl, you've got to come back into the real world, dear. You really have. All right? Thank you, Carl. He's very good, actually. He always comes up with bits and pieces of information. You see, if you're useless at anything, just surround yourself with intelligence, as I do. Now, the postal address, and I'm going to have to give you this quickly because I'm running out of time. It's Chris Reardon, United Kingdom Talk, P.O. Box 4073, Bracknell, RG 429ED, United Kingdom. Once again, Chris Reardon, United Kingdom Talk, P.O. Box 4073, Bracknell, RG 429ED, United Kingdom. And the email chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I'll see you on the next show. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.